Hey Sleeper, Chapter 3 of Dune Awakening is almost here, and honestly, it might be the biggest glow-up Arrakis has ever seen. If you've been on a short break that accidentally lasted several months, well, this is generally the best time to come back. We have some long-awaited quality of life changes that are already live or will be when Chapter 3 launches. That includes character transfer, so you can join new or old friends, a base reconstruction tool so you never lose your progress again, return packages loaded with resources for returning players, dev apology not included, and the big one, no more taxes. Build the mega base of your dreams, go feral, zero upkeep costs. But today's video is all about getting the strongest possible start in Chapter 3, saving you time, and all of this tailored to your playstyle and without any story spoilers. We're getting a full Endgame rework, a new Landsraad system, scalable dungeons, new location, weapons, crafting mechanics, and a progression system designed to keep you busy for months, literally months. So let's break down the key systems you need to understand for a smooth start of Chapter 3. There are now 5 testing stations on the overland map, and they're the main driver of endgame progression. They scale in difficulty, and the higher you go, the better the rewards. Simple, clean, addictive. The first big change you will notice, all tier 6 Plastanium weapon and armor schematics now have grades. Grade 0 or ungraded for schematics you find in the deep desert or on lower difficulty in the new testing station. They go all the way up to 5 as you increase the difficulty. For example, looking at Thief and going from grade 0 to grade 5, you more than double its base damage. And another thing that will be introduced to you within the first progression quest is the Augmentation system. They add additional stat customization to your weapons and armors. They also come in 5 grades, and you load their schematics and some of their crafting components in the new testing stations. You will be able to ultimately slot 3 augments per item, weapon or armor. There are a lot of different augments, from reduced recoil on your weapon to element-specific damage reduction on your armor, and some of them only exist at certain grades. Get ready to farm a lot until you get the perfect build because they roll random values. Crafting augments is basically eating roulette at the casino. For example, here I want to craft a blade grip adjuster augment, which reduces the attack stamina cost. I can get between 3 to 5% reduction, and I got 3.3%. Not that great, but that was for grade 1. In comparison, grade 5 is between 18 and 20% reduction, so you can imagine how it works for all of them. Now for the main course, the new Landsraad system. No more hoarding. To win the Landsraad, you will need to complete missions across the Akabasan, the testing stations, and the new overland locations. These missions range from bike race to dungeon clears. They're fun, they're varied, but yes, they get repetitive quite fast. You can hold 3 missions at a time and you can share them with friends. You pick them from the new mission tab or directly from a house tile. Each mission gives you 2 reward tracks. Landsraad rewards, which are experience, Solaris, and Landsraad contribution, and the new gated progression rewards, which are specialization experience, house script, the new currency, and faction standing. Which brings us to the last system we need to discuss, specialization, the long-term grind. To access specialization, you need to complete the new quest at your faction officer in Arakin or Arco village. There are 5 specializations, each with 100 ranks, and the progression is gated by Recollection Tokens. You get 5 per day, up to 35. Each token lets you claim the progression reward for 1 mission. You don't need to play daily, but doing all 35 in one day will take you some time because you can't progress more than 3 missions at a time. To dive a little bit more into the Landsraad system, each Landsraad house is randomly assigned a specialization each week, and doing a mission provides you with Landsraad contribution for the house you selected and reward from the associated specialization, assuming you still have tokens available. Houses unlock during the week, as in the previous chapters, so you can only select the houses with revealed tasks, now specialization, when selecting a mission. Circling back on the specialization rewards, in addition to specialization experience, you also receive house standing, allowing you to increase your faction standing all the way to 20. This unlocks new cosmetics that you can purchase with the new currency, the house Scrip, at the faction vendor. Talking about Scrip, you can also purchase endgame crafting resources with it and the essential materials to craft augments. Leveling your specialization comes in 2 forms, the minor passive rank and the major ranks you need to purchase with spice. But don't worry, you can always keep a major rank if you want. Some are essential to use the new mechanics, such as crafting, which is mandatory to slot your augments on your weapons and armors, and it comes with a lot of interesting perks. They also all come with a unique helmet skin at rank 75. Combat is rather simple, but look at those bonuses: 54 skill points, 100% extra damage and 50% damage mitigation, and 55 extra health and stamina. This is a must. Gathering is contained, but it will more than satisfy any player farming resources, and also the weirdest helmet skin, I guess. Exploration has huge emphasis on vehicles, but has some very interesting perks such as reduced syndrome threat, reduced suspenser power drain, and some extra loot. Never complain about that. Finally, Sabotage is the most versatile, with some good perks for both PvE and PvP fighting, but also some Landsraad and Scrip bonuses. That's gonna come in handy. They're all useful, and ultimately you will want to unlock all of them, but if you want to progress in the endgame, you will need to focus on combat as the highest priority. The crafting has second, since the augment slots on your equipment are locked behind the specialization, and finally the Sabotage for the added DPS boost. If you want to build your character for PvP, I would recommend doing combat first, then Sabotage, and then crafting in terms of priority. Now, according to your interest, you might want to have different strategies. If your main gameplay loop evolves around helping your faction win the Landsraad every week, you might want to focus on Sabotage to get the Landsraad contribution bonus ASAP. If you ain't a fighter but more of a farmer, focus on the gathering and crafting specialization, and if you're a completionist and you want to unlock every cosmetic and especially those new placeable swatches for your base, then you focus on getting those 14k contribution points for each house the most efficiently possible, and you deal with the specialization later. Don't worry, you will be busy for months, and when I say month, I don't mean like 2 months. If you want to unlock all specialization, it will take you 11 months and a half, assuming you don't miss a single week. Those are the essentials. You should be ready for chapter 3. Now you just need to start by, again, seeing your faction officer in Arakin or Arco village. Thank you for watching and stay hydrated, sleeper. Now for some rambling. Well, if you look at the specialization, it's gonna be a big mess, and I think there's gonna be a lot of misinformation shared. Like, if you look, combat is definitely the one you want to focus on, because the damage and damage mitigation that you have every level, because yeah, I saw some people already sharing some like you see you have like the miners one, which are like the small squares, and the major one that you have to buy with spice, right? So here I'm level 13, and you see I have already 13% damage bonus, but the miner it's a 1%, and I don't get one at 11. The fact is that when you get a major trait, you also get a minor one for the same price, I should say, included. So I saw some people counting the little square and saying, oh, you get like 50, and no, that's 100% because you get an extra one every time. And combat is the one to go, because the skill points with the damage mitigation is what's gonna help you to push, right? And then you're gonna have people that argue that, yeah, but the crafting, you want a crafting. So let's say you go to level 10, you get 1 augment per weapon or armor, right? The next tier is in like the 30s, and 42 I think for the second one on the armor. Let's say focusing on the weapon, 31. 31 is gonna take you, if you just only do specialization, about 3 weeks, something like that, 4 weeks maybe. Because it takes you 2 months and 1 week to do the 100, right? Yeah, 2 months, 1 week to do the 100, something like that. And also, the more level you gain, the more experience they require. You see here, I'm about to be 15, that's 194. Here 5, that's 128. So the last level, on top of costing quite starting to get significant amount of spice, you also require a lot of experience. So you're gonna have to do a lot of missions to be able to unlock those last traits. And if you want to go to the last weapon one, it's like 88. And the augments are not that great, honestly. Like 3 to 5. 2 to 4% armor, that's not gonna make a difference. It's not the reason why you're not gonna be able to push, I think, one of the testing stations. I guess it would be better to just like play with someone else instead of trying to optimize yourself. I mean, group of 4. If you're already on a group of 4 and you're at your limit, I don't think that would. The first thing I will do is push for those ones, right? I mean, the combat is gonna have if you do 1% for every weapons, not just the one for which you have the right augments on it, you know. And you have to have the right augments, of course. So combat is definitely this, and then I guess when you're in a group or even allow the damage to stagger targets and the headshot bonus, right? After a while, it's gonna compensate for if you go into your skills and you take this. So it's gonna compensate for this headshot that you lose, right? Let me get out of the way. You see, you lose that. I mean, I always take center of mass, pretty good, but you lose 25% bonus, I could say, on the headshot damage. That's gonna compensate with the sabotage and the damage to stagger targets. That's huge if you CC. I mean, that's how I play. At least I use a lot of CCs to damage the enemies. So combat first, and then a bit of those. And since it costs more and more, it's not realistic to just go full on one and then do the other one. Honestly, I would just do a bit of everything. I mean, that's what personally I'm gonna do. And you can say if you really focus on just like pushing testing stations to the highest level possible, and maybe you don't take those 2. And then you just focus on those 3. And that's what I will do as well, right? Combat first, I mean, as a priority. And then I'm not gonna even say that eating this, because 1 rune, you want at least to go to 31, which is gonna take you some time. Assuming then you don't do this and this, right? Because having... Where is the next headhunter? It's 27, yeah. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, for this one you're more counting on the passive, unless you want a PvP with the reduction in scanning. I mean, I don't see people using a lot the scanners, to be honest, in PvP. I mean, that's pretty neat, but 40? Damn! Yeah. Definitely the best thing to do here. I mean, for me, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna play on the Landsraad. Like, you can do 35 a week. You need to do 14 to unlock one of the new swatches for the placeable. I will pick a house, for example, like, I will start probably the first one with combat. I will do 14 quests, just Mikael, for example. I mean, the missions. And I'll just do that. And then what I would do is that when you pick a quest, you have a location. For example, here is the Break of the Teich, whatever. And then I pick another one that's at the same location. And I think that's what I would do. But focusing on always doing at least one Mikael mission. You do it 14 times, you unlock a placeable swatch, and then you get whatever else specialization is at the same location for the quest. I mean, that's definitely what I would do. And then you get busy for some time, right? That's 30, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25. All right. That keep you busy for 25 weeks. Oh, no, that's... yeah. Well, that can work. Or you can do 2 per week. 2 times 14, that's 28. And then you save the other 7 to balance your specialization. Yeah, I guess. Well, you can always do more, but that's the thing, like, because you can say, like, yeah, in 1 week I can do all of them if I ever want, right? Because even if you don't have this bonus here anymore. You still have the Landsraad contribution, so you can still hit those 14k without getting the experience bonus. But 35 missions a week is already taking a lot of time, and I'm assuming if you just play all the time, if you play 6 hours a day, then yeah, you probably already tried the PTC and seen what works best for you. So I don't think that matters. But realistically, if you're an average or returning player, you like collecting, you could be focus on 1 house a week or 2. I think 2 is okay. Huh. Because you also have the new chapter quest to do for the story. If you got one of the DLC, you will have some quests to unlock some stuff as well. So the first week is gonna be really busy, right? That's gonna be it's gonna keep you busy, but yeah. I mean, I could see the difference, like how many extra skill points do I have? Combat. 8, I could clearly see a difference. So I can imagine if you get like 40, 54 at the end, extra skill points, damn. It's huge, it's gonna be huge. And then the increased damage. That's definitely the best for pushing the dungeon. And that's gonna even make the testing station trivial, I think. Oh shit, am I stuck again now? Okay. Well, that's not good. Alright, so I think that's gonna be enough to keep people busy for quite a time. 11.5 months, 2.3 months per specialization. Like, if you're not really focused on just pushing like above level 20 of the new testing station, I would really just do a bit of everything, because everything is great. Like, having to farm less, getting more resources. I mean, the exploration is really a lot on vehicle, right? So that's like vehicle sandstorm damage, right? Yeah. Fuel efficiency, yeah, it's always welcome, but yeah, come on. The scanning, who cares? Who cares? Fog of War, who cares? That's pretty good, but that's like 40. Well, the inventory size, I'm not gonna lie, it's quite good. It's pretty cool. But you get it at like an extra row, you get like 5 more already just with 1 level, and then you get a bit more volume. Because when is the next 25, you know? That's not worth pushing that early. Definitely not, that should come over time. I mean, it depends. If you really want to do a Landsraad, let's say realistically you push to 53. No, 40, 43. Yeah, I would push to 43 for the 15% bonus Landsraad contribution. But even if you want to unlock like just the swatches and you want to benefit from the plus 5%, it's 1 mission is 1,000. So yeah, no, it's not even gonna help you if you reach level 19. But if you play like 6 hours a day and you just want to do Landsraads in your big guild, just get your Sabotage to this, like here when you have the 10% instead of 5. That's level 43. You also get the extra loot on corpses. Not bad. Scrip bonus. Not really interesting, I should say. If you do your 35 quests a week, yeah. And honestly, on the augments also, I would not even bother crafting them all. Because those little babies, they cost 7 plastanium, spice infused plastanium Dutch each, and spice melange also. So that's like, and the grade 1 are garbage, grade 2 garbage, starting to get interesting in grade 3. Honestly, I don't think you should craft any until you get some really good one, or one that you need. Because grade 1, it's 3, like let's say you get 4% on average increased DPS, right, on a ranged weapon. Do we have them here, those ones? Oops. Accuracy. Let's recoil. Damage is those ones? Yeah. Oh yeah, no, that's 2 to 8. Okay, right. 8? Yeah. Like 5? Meh. If you get the last one, it's like 70% bonus damage. You're like, damn! Yeah. Please give it to me, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Yeah, I would not craft them. The grade 1, I would probably never craft them. Because you're gonna get more damage from the damage tree if you push that combat tree, sorry, combat specialization first. You're gonna get much more bonus in damage than you can get with crafting the right augmentation, getting a good roll and putting it on a single weapon. You see what I mean? Like, if you get some really good, like grade 3, yeah. That's gonna be interesting. And then you can, there's also some that are weapon specific that you don't see on lower grades, but are one that are, for example, just for the drill shot. And then you get a mix of packages to adjust it to your playstyle. Some are just for the graphic, and then so that's perfect. So yeah, that's how I would play it. Yeah. Definitely. Alright, I think that's all I have to say about that.